Well, let's see what Acra say about his bro. His bro in the hospital still. Pardon. Yes, we're back, Acro. Alright, let's talk. First, tell me about Leon. Okay, you got nothing to say about Leon. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm confined to this room, so I don't have a clue. It's it's your brother, dude. You don't have nothing to say about your brother. Okay, whatever. Okay, well, it's time to break you. Time to break you. You lying liar who lies, probably. I have to ask you, how were you injured? I thought we talked about this. It was an accident that happened during the practice. And your aspects were prone to all sorts of injuries. Are you really telling me that the practice accident was the cause of your injury? Oh, no. Whoops, wrong thing. It was 6 months. No, shit. Shit. It was 6 months ago. It probably was the lion, related to that lion accident in some way. Six months ago, you were attacked by the lion. That's when you were injured. Oh, that was easy. You're saying that I was attacked by a lion? Yeah? I'm an animal tamer. If a lion was coming at me, I would be running for the exit. You rephrase that as battle the lion. You enjoy telling jokes. Why would I decide to battle a lion? You know. Because of your bro. Bats. Yup. You had to save your bro. You tried to save him, right? And that's when you got your injuries? Mo must have told you. Learned about Bat from Mo. Didn't mention, but he didn't say anything about you. Slip of the tongue. I'm gonna have to kill that piece of shit. Cut down together in their prime. I see. An accident is an accident. It wasn't anyone's fault. Anyone's fault. Do you care to explain more? Hacker, I know you are still hiding something from me. Someone you don't seem to like much is the reason you're being evasive. This bitch! Regina? You always seem calm and collected until you start talking about her. Saying things like she's cruel. Well done, Mr. Attorney. You got quite the set of eagle eyes. Her tiger tried to attack me, you know. Regina tried to attack you? Twice. He wasn't serious, I'm sure. You're not trying to insinuate that I believe she spurred Leon to attack Bat, are you? You were never taught a command to attack people. Regina isn't capable of doing anything like that. Besides, Gina had no reason to want to hurt my little brother. Gina and Bat were such good friends back then. And yet you still can't stand her. Well, if she had the list after breakfast, probably his. She posted on the bulletin board in the cafeteria. Before that, it was in her pocket. The only person who could have put it there is you. Honestly, though, a problem that people do point out about this that I quite agree with is that if Acro has been a part of the circus for years, he should know that Regina is a bit of an idiot. So when he writes to the murderer on a piece of paper, expecting her to take it seriously, he is an actual moron. Because he knows that she would never, ever connect the dots. She's not smart enough to do it. Never gonna be smart enough to figure that out. So this man is dumb for trying to think that she could. That's right, isn't it? That's right. Well done, Mr. Wright. Why don't we get some truth out of you, my friend? Let's get some fucking harsh truths out of you. This is a very long case. My legs were injured by Leon. 6 months ago, my younger brother Bat had a dare with Regina. Oh, Lord. An absurd dare. If I can put my head inside of Leon's mouth like you do, you have to go to the movies with me on a date. We all thought he was being stupid too. That lion was very old to begin with, and age brought with it countless experience in doing that very trick. Unfortunately, this particular time, I guess Leon wasn't ready or willing. He has wanted to take her out to the movies. And now he's in a fucking coma. And Leon attacked me, and that's how I ended up in a wheelchair for life. Because of a fucking lion attack. I was last day to visit him. I'm still waiting for him to open his eyes again. And that's the reason why I keep going. They were such great friends. Oh yeah, I want you to take a look at this. This is the scarf my brother was wearing when Leon attacked him. It's covered in blood. His scarf. It was a present from Regina to my brother on the day of the accident. When he did it, he looked like he was smiling. Leon, obviously. He bit down on Bat's head. The expression on Leon's face looked like a grin. Most of the same thing. I'll be taking that scarf if you don't mind. You already heard everything, so hand over the scarf. The scarf is evidence in the trial. That's for me to decide. We should begin our preparations now, Acro. Served a summons to Acro to appear in court tomorrow as a witness. The girl will be talking more at the prosecutor's office. Let's go to the office. Okay. We are done investigating, so it'll be time for the final trial. It's time for that final trial for Turnabout Big Top. Nick is his nickname for Phoenix. Nick for short. Phoenix. That is where the name Nick comes from. You gotta sound out Phoenix to understand why she gives him that nickname. Phoenix. Yeah, it's not great, but like it works. It's fine. It's fun. As far as names go, that is the least dumb. That is like one of the least dumb names in a game that's full of pun names. Like the clown Mo, his real name is Larry Curls. For Curly, Larry, and Mo, the Three Stooges. The game is full of these kinds of things. It's just part of the humor. Well, because Nix is not a name, but Nick is. Maya's just Maya. She can't have an obsession with seeming normal because she's literally a psychic who channels spirits through her body. Seem like your usual sparkling self today. It's because he hasn't had his pre-performance milkies yet. Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here's your milkies. My sweetie pie princess. You came to watch performance today? It's a trial, dude. It's a trial. Mo told me I should come and watch this. Uh-oh. Mo knows something that we don't. It's not that kind of show, honey. Yeah, she doesn't seem to know much of fucking anything. She seems like a completely clueless klutz. I agree. It's like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today I'm just a member of the audience. Great, great. Maybe this will be a good wake-up fucking call for you, idiot. Regina is... Different is definitely a word to describe Regina. You suck at legal limbo. How low can you go? Oh, dear God. Please don't do a British impression. That's worse than me. Attacking the day starts with energy in the morning. You are correct. She is very sheltered. She's not, she is, in that being sheltered means she doesn't know more or less anything about what non-circus life is like. Which is great when you're performing and not great when you can't realize that people are talking about you or trying to romance you and why that's a bad thing. But you're correct. She is literally like never left the circus. It's like a plot point that like every child's dream of being a pretty princess on stage is her day-to-day existence. That's too much milk. We're gonna face against the real culprit. You mean Acro? Yep, we mean Acro. Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line, literally. He's got guts to spare. All I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is. I'm used to it already. We'll just have to do without our usual psychological warfare. We rely on evidence! When we'll get past the truth and to Acro. With the other way around, past Acro and to the truth. We'll need to use the evidence. I want to make sure Regina sees this and then finally like breaks out of her trunk and her stupor and sees reality for the first time. She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. I don't believe in people becoming stars. Oof. We need to give her a cold dose of medicine known as reality. As for why he thinks that, you'll find out in a second. Prosecution is ready. And the defense is also ready. Prosecution would like to revise its previous theory on events. We have discovered a new witness, or shall I say a new eyewitness. One that Maximilian Galactica saw him fly off from the crime scene. On one hand, I do get poor girl. On the other hand, as you'll see, as we might see in this trial today, depending on how much time it takes, her ignorance has caused a lot of problems for a lot of people. You're not prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. Oh, go ahead. I'm deathly curious about this. Was that if the need? You don't feel like you might need to explain your theory that the defendant fucking flew out of the crime scene? You think you need to explain how that happened? Prosecutor? Seriously? This is fucking malpractice. But fine. As for whether or not Feeks can use evidence, he knows how to use evidence, just like... kinda, sorta. Hey, Acro. I'm going to break you. Ken Dingler, everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at the Very Big Circus. I was in my room that night. The crime scene is here, and Acro's room was here. Since this is labeled on the this is modeled after the Japanese court system, there are cases where even if we've proven without a doubt that our client is not the killer, we will look at a guilty verdict if we can't figure who the true killer is. Beyond a reasonable doubt does not exist here. The prosecution's power is almost absolute. Almost. They just gotta prove that he could do it effectively without, like, proving definitively that he did. Night of the crime, the victim saw something quite shocking. Tell us what you witnessed. Time for his testimony. It was just after 10 p.m. and I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. Then a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. Hold on to that thought. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming. case there is very little prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the sky that night. Before we get to that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feed the foolish sadness of a sad fool. I love Francesca sometimes because she get to say stupid things like that, and it is kind of funny to say it. It is kind of amusing for me to make those kinds of those foolish fool lines. I love those lines. They're fun to read. A man must know the proper timing for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Just like your old friend, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, did. In the words of Miss Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There is no way that it actually happened. Now we have to cross-examine the witness. In Japan, the Shabby's probably was something a little silly like that, yeah. Like Muda 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 or something like that. As you know, the rule is you press everything. You were resting in bed. One would thus assume that you turned the lights off in your room, correct? That's correct. But there are safety lights around the outside of the lodging house. It's so bright sometimes it can make it hard to sleep. Good idea to close some curtains. Never really thought of that. I guess that means I'm off to buy some curtains. Haha, sometimes I do make myself useful in these chambers. Shut up, Judge. No one asked your fucking opinion. Thank you, Von Karma. Heard a large thump noise from outside the window. Your room is on the 3rd floor, right? And you said that you were resting in bed. But you were still able to hear a sound from outside? I was indeed. Estimate results. Maybe something's contradictory what he just said just now. Not really. Nothing, Your Honor. Are you sure it was a human being? It could have been a mannequin or perhaps a large action figure. Well, setting aside the possibility of a mannequin, an action figure is plausible. We have no need to make this word with Mr. Phoenix Wright. Testify to the truth and only the truth, just as if we were there with you that night. I believe it was a human. No. Someone behind, but that's who it looked like. Light in your room was turned off then, right? That's true, I was going to bed after all. Lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window. The lights lit things up enough for me to see. Honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on the front. Well, A, there were no white roses, and B, how would you know if there were? We saw the silk hat as well as the cloak wrapped around his body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica. Let's go here. There's a huge contradiction in the testimony that was just given.
Objection!
Objection, then prove it with evidence. You can't see the exact same thing Maui saw that night. Do you stand by that? What do you mean? The silk hat. What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window. Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night. That would have been quite difficult considering the state I'm in. Looking outside of the window was a tough enough challenge for me. That's a shame because you would have noticed the silk hat was found on the scene. That's the ringmaster's hat, right? Afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's one-of-a-kind, only custom-ordered silk hat. Which means if it was on the fucking ground, he shouldn't have been able to fucking see it! Means Acro. You've been fibbing on the stand.
Objection!
As always, looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking. My big mouth, and now I have to pack it up. What would cause this witness to commit perjury in this courtroom today? Obviously, the only answer is... Your Honor, on this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself. On this occasion? Accuses Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of? Murder most foul. Mr. Wright, are you serious? Deadly serious, Your Honor. I think your trips to the circus have served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab at an audience's hearts and minds. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book. Really? If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. He's calm enough for it to be almost scary. He is staying rather composed. Mr. Dingling, do you have any response to the defense's accusations? I don't really need to say a thing, do I? What do you mean? Everyone, take a good look at me. I can't even stand up by myself, let alone leave the lodging house. That's true. I said that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of murder of all things... See, even a sliver of common sense makes it clear the accusation is ludicrous. She's right way put him to disabled, you heartless, cruel man. It's a poopy head. He's a poopy head. See? He's a poopy head. Poopy head. I'm looking for a peanut gallery. That's how you do it. Little game. I've got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro was unable to stand under his own power. Maybe the defense is planning to make a claim to counter this as well. Here the defense now Acro had an accomplice. No. No, he didn't. Not this time, Von Karma. What? You're not going to sucker me on into this one. What are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright? There was no accomplice. Acro planning committed this murder all by himself. What are you getting at? Keep them on their toes, Nick. Now I'm going to have to prove how it fits together. I'll show Acro murdered Russell Berry. Can you really do it? Probably. We'll figure it out. I don't know what I can do. If I stop now, I'm doomed. Mr. Phoenix writes. Witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right? Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, exactly where was Mr. Dingling? In his room!
Take that!
He was obviously in his room. The entire time. Wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there can only be one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room the entire night. What? Are you nuts? Are you out of your mind? Are you crazy? Are you stupid? Are you an idiot? Are you a loser? Are you a moron? What are you talking about, Mr. Phoenix Wright?